Welcome. I'm Dr. Ashley. We're here at World of Wellness in Green Tree, and I have a very special guest, Mr. Bill Shotton. And Bill is a dear friend of mine, and we've been friends forever. And we're going to talk about his weight loss journey and how he was finally able to lose the weight and maintain it long term. So, welcome, Bill.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
So thank you for being so patient because we were having some technical difficulties. So thank you. So start telling us a little bit about how your when you decided to lose the weight and what you were like um, prior, and we will show you guys a before and after picture. So because you weren't heavy young, you gained the weight in your adult
No,
years, correct?
yeah. I would say by the time you met me, I had kicked off my film career, and from the time I guess it would be 2002 up until 2012 when I shot my last feature film, I probably gained a good 100 pounds between that and that 10 years. Um, I think we were heading into below ground, or maybe we were going into that direction and shooting that film. And I decided I got tired of being a 310 pound, boulder, because it's difficult shooting movies and being on your feet all day when you have that kind of weight on you. So,
Wait, I gotta make a side note real quick here, Bill, because so Bill and I, for everyone who don't know, we do movies together, and Bill outran me at that weight. So for do you remember during Below Ground, I was
no, that was
already
Bloodlock. No, that was
Bloodlock. That's
Bloodlock.
right.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
Bloodlock, and
Yeah,
you
so
outran me
yeah,
then.
yeah, I was,
Not
yeah,
that
I
I'm fat.
definitely, yeah, but you're very slow, so that's not so
Fair.
much. Yeah,
I know. No,
yes. So I tried to do it on my own. I don't know, maybe for up until from 2010 until we shot Wormwood's End, which was about a 2 year span. I was sort of on my own journey. I was just eating better, and when you weigh 310 pounds and you just start eating better, automatically start dropping weight.
hmm
And uh, we went through that process of shooting Wormwood's End, and by 2013, I believe it was Ideal Protein when you began working alongside or working along with Ideal Protein. You put me on your program there at
hmm
Pittsburgh Productions, or that business, and I dropped a good 50 pounds on that, and a good 60 pounds on my own for that. So, but I couldn't get past that 250 pound mark. I struggled so hard, and I gave up and started putting weight back on until you introduced your first
When
program to me.
couldn't get past that 250-pound mark, were you starting to feel like, I'm just supposed to be at this weight? Like, I'm never going to lose it? Like, what was your thought process during that?
Well, you start, like, when you don't see progress, you start you start giving up, and whenever you're prone to weight gain, the second you give up, it's a very short time to start slipping back into the bad habits and eating bad, that sort of thing. I mean, you were on set with me for Wormwood's End, and it was like a little Debbie party on that thing. You had to slap the cupcakes out of my hands half the time, just so yes. So you start eating poorly, and it's that. But once I got on your program the first go round, it was a pretty. We knocked it out pretty quickly. I think I hit my target weight in like 5 months or something.
Yeah, but you followed it to a T, and you did. And then
Yeah, it's just following the direction.
talk about what happened after that. when you, what happened to what brought you right here now?
How much do you want to hear? I mean, there's a lot. So
Well, yeah, talk about because you were kind of stuck, right? Like you got to a certain, and you got kind of stuck.
well, I got to a point, and keep in mind, like we're moving through my 40s at this point. So I'm the I just would have probably been a lot easier to manage at a young age, or if I was younger. But the older you get, the worse your metabolism gets. So we hit, I don't know, maybe 2017, and I started packing weight back on like it was going out of style. And 2019 hit, and I went back on keto and added a day of fasting in per week. So at one day of the week I would fast. Then I dropped all my weight again. I was able to manage the weight, and I said, okay, I'm back to a point now where I can control my weight. And then I went to the doctors, did some tests, and it turns out I had catastrophic cholesterol. And to quote the office, they said, "Sir, your cholesterol is the highest this office has ever seen." I live in Hubbard, and everything. This is a fish fry. This is the fish fry capital of the world. Cholesterol's terrible in Hubbard, and I had the record. So
That's bad.
oh yeah, it's real bad. It was so high, and so they put me on the maximum dose of a statin. It's not supposed to make your weight. It's not supposed to cause you to gain weight, and they say it's not. They told me that's not one of the side effects, but I pretty much had to starve myself to maintain to try to just stop from gaining, because I kept gaining and gaining. I gained a pound, and I'd be eating nothing. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to fast and go keto. So I fasted and went keto, and all it did was keep me at a certain weight. And I figured, I was like, well, I better get happy being like 10 pounds up from where I was last year, because I'm gonna have to starve myself just to stay here. And then that's when you put me on your plan, which is, I don't even know how to, like, what you call that.
It's nutrient timing, it's customized nutrition, and I knew that this would work well for you, right? Like everybody, I might tweak it a little bit specifically for them because everybody's a little bit different, but this I knew would work very well for you. I know you so well, so I knew what your diet was lacking. I knew what nutrients you needed, and I was like, let's just fix it. And first of all, how often did you starve on my diet?
Oh, never. As a matter of fact, it was hard to sometimes it's hard to take all the food in. There was so much. It's such a
says, yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're very full on the diet, and guess what? And it was nice to have fruit again. It was nice to have parts of my diet. I mean, listen. I mean, for that year it was tuna fish, and there wasn't much joy in my diet. And the furthest thing from my diet was a sweet potato, right? But that's a big part of this diet for me. So, yeah, and another nice. So then I dropped the weight. I'm like, wow, the first week goes by, the second week goes by. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get on the scale, and boom, I was down 5 pounds in 2 weeks. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy, And then what it is, and then it got me down to below my target weight, and then it made it possible for me to sit there. And then the nice thing about it is, back when we were doing the keto thing, or when I was doing the keto thing, if you go off your diet for a day, you have to suffer for a week to get back into the ketosis. It's brutal to get. It's so. With this, you can, let's say, like, there's something you're going out to eat. You want to go out and eat with the family to get Mexican food that night, right?
It's easy
and
to do.
You're back
right?
on the diet tomorrow. Exactly, you're back on the diet.
And you can even eat Mexican on this diet and not veer too far up. I mean, there's way to modify it. And and like, let's talk about Christmas, right? We all indulged. Including me. And yeah, to the point, like, I'm like, why are my eyelids so swollen? Like, we all indulge. But how easy was it for you to jump back on and drop some of the weight from Christmas, from the holidays?
Well, it's easy to jump back on. It is, because the diet becomes such a lifestyle. You get so used to eating a certain way. It's like, okay, I guess I got to swing by Giant Eagle and pick up a couple packs of sweet potatoes, and you get your snacks. You get some chips. You get some snacks on there. Yeah, I get the Siete chips. I think that's how they're pronounced.
Such a good chip. Yeah.
I got my bagged fruit that I love having every day. That's something I missed so much over the last 10 years. Eat nothing but meats and cheeses when I was on keto. Now it's like those things are, and especially being 48 years old, now I'm 48, so you don't want to be packing your arteries with red meat and cheddar cheese on a daily basis. It's not good. Plus, I feel so much better without the dairy. I feel so much better without the wheat and grain.
All that inflammation is reduced.
Yeah, it's like my joints are, my body feels a lot less fatigued. So it's been a big blessing for me.
Well, it's really, you just jump on, you just take it, you embrace it, and it was funny because I was like, Bill, why don't you just try this? Why don't you just try it? And it just really, you just thrived on it. And I would love to show a before and after picture. So Phil's gonna put it up here. So this is where your weight journey started. This is the weight you were at when you started. Wow.
Yeah, I guess I'd be on the left. Yeah.
Yeah.
At that day, I think I was at Hocking Hills, and I was 310 pounds, and I was trying to hike, and it's a lot, at that weight to do anything. So
you're like an entire different human.
Right. Yeah. So you would have remembered me on this when we were shooting Silver Cell. This was the last time. I think this was right around that time when after we shot Silver Cell. Yeah,
that was how I met you. Was about then. I met you way before Silver Cell, but I mean, you were about that weight when we met, right?
Was I? I thought I was a little lighter then, but
no, you would have been lighter because we were, in Jay's words, a chunk younger.
We're chunk younger, yeah.
But you've had the journey, the struggle, and how easy is it for you to put on weight?
Put on weight? Or take off weight.
Put on, like if you would go off.
It's easy to put on. Yeah, it goes on pretty easy for me if I'm not like being mindful of what I'm eating. So, and that's just the way it is. Once you get to a certain point, you're better. For instance, like I wish I would have taken better care of myself when I was younger. And I wouldn't have to struggle so much now. So, but at a very, I was young. I kind of remember working at Hardee's at 18 years old, and quarter-pound snacks like on the hour, every hour. We sort of spent our time eating food.
But how skinny were you at 18?
I was probably about where I am now at 18.
Yeah, so healthy, and you think you're young, you can eat all that food, but what happens is you start developing those bad habits that carry into adulthood.
Exactly. And then going through my life, at some point in that 10 year, that past 10 years, I didn't do a whole like my personal habits. I had some issues with drug addiction, and through that time, which then thanks to the love of Christ, saved me from that. So I did some damage to my metabolism at, I don't know, the 2015 era. Yeah, right about there. So because of that, I think once I hit 2016 and hit my recovery, the beginning of my recovery, on through to 2017 and 2018, that's where I struggled just to, I mean, I had gotten back to 230 pounds there, trying to keep weight off until my metabolism reset, and and then I was able to find a way to keep it off, and that was for the second round of keto. So, but I don't know if that's too much information, but
No, well,
but that's sort of
that's what it's raw, and what happens, your body becomes so toxic from the abuse, right, and the damage
right,
is done,
yeah.
and it takes a while to recover from severe damage to the body like that.
Yeah, I guess the message in that is, be good to your body because it's the only one you have, so, as long as you're, as long as you're treating and putting the things in your body that God wants you to put into your body, you have a much better chance of staying healthy. So, and I hit a point like my metabolism it just shut down. It got so used to like cranking 24/7 that it had no idea what to do whenever I got clean and recovered from the drug abuse. So
Yeah, it's amazing, the reset, and how now you are so healthy, and you are able to maintain the weight loss. If you put on, you're able to lose quickly. I mean, you
mhm.
really, it's amazing when you do put the right nutrients in the body, how well the body will respond. And that's it. And knowing what's right for your body too, right? Like,
But it's sort of
it's not
amazing
keto,
that
it's
the keto was terrible. I'm not saying it's. I was doing clean keto, but holy smokes, talk about being limited in what you can eat.
and
It's
it's not.
so.
And keto's a therapeutic diet meant to be short term, and it was really developed for epilepsy, for seizures, and in that could possibly be more long term. But yeah, we're not meant to deprive our body. We need carbs for functioning, the good
Hmm.
carbs. Mm, yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
so
agree.
when I gave you some sweet potatoes, it was like, whoo, your body was probably like, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I tell you, I start. I really the sweet potatoes, the ghee, the swerve, brown sugar. That's like
Love it.
eating dessert for dinner right there.
Isn't it? Well, I was just telling my client
Hmm.
before you, I'm just eyeballing the time, looking at the time, but I made icing out of sweet potatoes, and it was a chocolate icing, and it was so good. And I know that sounds crazy. You are so used to my concoction.
Like,
Well, wait,
who
I
has
do have
some
to say,
avocado
the one
chocolate
thing,
mousse? No.
it's so good.
You
I
know
you
what
still
I
haven't
was
tried
gonna
it.
do when we logged on here, I was gonna put a can of Pam like in the corner here, so that you could
Spam right there. You don't even have. Oh, Pam. I thought you said spam.
Pam, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so this
Pam.
is. Well, I gotta tell. Let me tell. Let me tell the viewers about the Pam. So, well, you go ahead. You can tell the story.
Oh yeah, so I don't even know how we were or why we
You
like.
were
Oh,
taking
I had taken a
pictures.
picture of something. I took a picture of something to show you something, and you didn't even look at the picture. You said, "What's that on the stove?"
Is that
And it was
Pam?
a can of Pam. I got chewed out for having Pam in the house. So yeah, it was.
So the running joke was I have to clear my counters before
I got
I
to make
send a
sure to
picture.
check the background before I send any pictures to Ashley. She's gonna chew me out.
Yeah, we're gonna avoid Pam at all costs.
Yeah.
But it is important to have the good oil to cook in, and not using those chemical toxins, because all it does is lead the body further into illness and disease. So it is really important to
Hmm.
have those good things. But the one the one argument we always have is, I'm like, Bill, you need more vegetables. Do you have your vegetables?
Ugh.
And
It's just not easy for me.
it,
It's never gonna be easy for me. You know, some of us are
no.
made to eat vegetables, and the rest of us are made to eat entire cows at once. Tell you what, that animal is delicious from root to tutor, man. That's it.
I'm like, don't you want some spinach with that?
No, I
No.
mean, yeah, it's like it's never an easy thing for me. It's never an easy
No,
thing. Sometimes, but sometimes you gotta eat the things you don't want to eat. The
you do.
like I was eating Brussels sprouts early on your diet. I had to switch over because I had to egg that whole bag of Brussels sprouts down.
Wait,
It just wasn't
I
good.
thought you were telling me they were really good in the air fryer.
Yeah, the fresh ones, but the frozen ones out of the bag are like
Oh
walking
yeah.
paste.
No, there's certain, like, I'll do a lot of frozen veggies, but there are certain things like Brussels sprouts I won't do frozen. They have to be fresh. That
Right,
is
yeah,
true. I
not
don't know
good.
why, but yeah, it's definitely not very good. I know we got to wrap up. I have a client coming in, but I am so thankful that you came on and just shared your story, because we are in January. I know a lot of times these are the New Year's resolutions, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, any time is a good time to start to be healthy and to really, change your life for the better. And I know you had a struggle that so many of us have. I know that was how I got into this field, was my own personal struggles. And so it was just really, really nice of you to come on and be so transparent and to talk about all of that. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Awesome. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Bye.